What if I told you that the difference between being broke and being rich isn't actually $1 million, but 100,000? Today, I'm going to show you exactly why your wealth explodes like a rocket ship once you hit this magical number. You see, there's this thing called financial escape velocity, and it's not what you think. Most people believe you need to be a millionaire to feel rich, but the real one knows it's at $100,000. Even legendary investor Charlie Munger said the first $100,000 is the hardest to earn. But after that, wealth builds on itself. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden math that makes millionaires and why most people never reach this magical threshold. Let me paint you a picture. If you save $833 per month and earn a 7% return, after about 8 years, you will make your first $100,000. Naturally, you'd think, if it took nearly a decade to hit $100,000, then $1 million must take like 80 years, right? By the time it appreciates that much, I'll be too old to remember why I wanted it. The only thing appreciating will be my arthritis. Well, nope. Keep saving at the same pace and you reach $1 million in just 20 more years. Doesn't add up, right? Let me explain why this happens. The secret weapon is compound interest, but not the way you think.
In the beginning,
compound interest is like that friend who promises to help you move, but shows up with a tiny car. Pretty useless. But watch what happens. In your early years, almost all your gains come from the money you put in. But as time goes on, the interest starts doing more and more of the heavy lifting. Eventually, the interest you earn completely destroys your contributions. Here's a mind-blowing example. A 10% return on $20,000 gives you $2,000. Not bad. But that same 10% return on $100,000, that's $10,000. That's more money than I make trying to be a YouTuber.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
job, you broke ass.
But it gets even better. Each $100,000 milestone comes faster than the last one. It's like changing your car with each milestone. First, you're driving a Corolla, then a Porsche 911, and finally, you're in a Bugatti.
Well, what color's your Bugatti?
But here's what nobody talks about. Reaching $100,000 completely transforms your behavior. Remember when you'd reuse paper towels to save money?
What the?
Now you use paper towels to clean other paper towels.
Yep.
Once you hit 6 figures, you stop sweating the small stuff, because you've already mastered the big stuff. Your brain starts pushing P and switches from thinking in pennies to thinking in percentages. Instead of, how can I save $10? You start thinking, how can I earn 10% on my $100,000? Psychologically, you stop thinking like a poor person and start thinking like a wealthy person. Poor people think money is scarce. There's never enough. Wealthy people think money is abundant. There's always a loophole to exploit. This mindset shift is crucial because it makes you more willing to take calculated risks, invest in yourself, and think long-term. You stop hoarding every dollar and start deploying your capital strategically. Once you hit $100,000, you can finally set up a money-making machine that works while you sleep. You can automate your investments, diversify into different assets, and even create passive income streams. Your money becomes a 24/7 employee that never calls in sick. The key is to minimize spending and reinvesting everything. Every money you make goes back into the machine. This is how millionaires are made. They let their money compound without interruption. Remember that financial escape velocity I mentioned? It's the moment when your investment returns start exceeding your living expenses. For most people, this happens somewhere between $100,000 and $500,000, depending on their lifestyle.
Look at this dude.
Once you reach this point, you literally can't spend money fast enough to keep up with how fast it's growing. Your wealth becomes unstoppable. You've achieved what every rich person understands. Your money is making more money than you could ever spend. This is why the wealthy get wealthier. Not because they're smarter or work harder, but because they understand the math of compound growth and they've built systems that harness it automatically. The beautiful thing is, once you understand the system, reaching $1 million becomes less of a dream and more of a plan, because you know exactly what you need to do. Why can't we have all we want? Watch this video to find out.